So this is our second day on 3.5, and we're going to do the same type of problems, but we're going to do them by graphing. So our objective is the student will be able to solve quadratic equations by graphing. And I think you'll find this fairly easy. So we're just going to go through some examples, then you'll have the assignment, and it won't take much time to do the assignment if we understand it. So if we look at the example, it says solve a nonlinear system by graphing. So remember, nonlinear means we had either a power higher than 1 in the function. So they give us this problem, y equals x squared minus 2x minus 1, and y equals negative 2x minus 1. So we go to the Desmos, and all we're going to do is we're going to type in the two equations. So y equals, and that was, write those down. So we're going to go to the Desmos and show how you do this. So we go to the Desmos calculator and we type those in. So y equals x squared minus 2x minus 1. So we get our parabola drawn, and now we're just going to add the other equation, y equals negative 2x minus 1. And you can see it comes down here and it crosses, and it just crosses at this one point. That dot there is just on the x-axis. And so if we just click on this, it tells us that the intersection point is 0, negative 1, and you're done. You just have to type it in the calculator and you have those intersection points. The nice thing about this is when you get to the test and you have to do like we did in the first section where you have to solve the equations by elimination or substitution, is you can check your answers by graphing them to make sure you got them right. Your work will have to be shown on the solving, but you'll be able to check them with the graphing calculator. So, if we go back, let's look at example number 5 on page 135. So these are a little bit different in the way they're written. It says they've got two problems here for us to solve. It says y equals this one quadratic equal to another quadratic. So all we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to break that up into two equations. So we take the left side and we say y equals that, and we take the right side and we say y equals that, and we can just type it in then to the Desmos. So if I go to the Desmos, I'm just going to clear these equations out of here. And so now I'm going to take the left side of the equation, and I'm going to go y equals the left side, 3x squared plus 5x minus 1 equals, and then the second equation, which is the other half of the equation, y equals negative x squared plus 2x plus 1. And we have our two equations, and we just look for the intersection point. So one of them is 0.425 and 1.67, and the other one is negative 1.175 and negative 2.732. So it's easy to find them. You just type them in. As you saw on this, we had one side equal to the other, so we just wrote on the Desmos, we put the left side, y equals that, and another equation is y equals the right side, graph them, and write down the intersection points. So pretty easy to do, not going to take a lot of time. So let's have you try one. If we go back, let's have you try 7 and 8 on page 135. So if we go to page 135, 7 and 8. So I'd like you to try these two and just check it and see if you got the right answer. So go ahead and pause the video here and then come back and check it. So on the first one, if you again, you just take y equals the left side of the equation, which was x squared minus 6x plus 15. And then we put in the right side is our second equation. And again, we don't need to simplify that. We can just write it exactly like it is. That was negative and then parentheses x minus 3 squared plus 6. So I can just put them in how they are, and I find the intersection point. In this case, there's only one point of intersection, and it's at 3, 6. And we're done. So you should have gotten 3, 6. So the other one, again, we don't need to simplify them at all. We just take y equals the left side of the equation, which is written this way, x plus 4. And x minus 1. And then our second equation, the right side of the equation, is going to be y equals negative x squared plus 3x plus 4. So we put those in. We get our two equations. We find the intersection points, negative 2, negative 6, and 2, 6, and you're done. So that's all you have to do on those. This assignment will be on the Desmos on the big ideas. There's not a lot of them, but again, there's nothing to do except writing the equations in and finding the intersection points. So you'll find this is a lot easier than the work you had to do on the 3.5a, but again, we could teach a 5th grader to do it this way. And you need to be able to do it both, but this is a nice way to be able to check your answers when you get to the test for the 3.5a. All right?